In 2006, at the end of a meeting of the International Astronomical Union, several hundred astronomers came up with a new way of classifying objects in the solar system. Henceforth, there'd be planets, dwarf planets, and small solar system bodies. In this new scheme of things, Pluto was demoted from the status of planet to dwarf planet. The controversy over whether that change should have happened continues, but for now the new scheme remains in place. Planets and dwarf planets have two things in common. They both orbit the Sun, and they both have enough mass and gravity to pull themselves into a nearly round shape. But they differ in one important respect. A planet is gravitationally dominant in the sense that it's cleared its path around the Sun of smaller objects such as asteroids, meteors, and dust particles. A dwarf planet, on the other hand, still has debris strewn along its orbital track. Astronomers think there may be dozens or even hundreds of objects that qualify as dwarf planets in the solar system, although the majority are still to be discovered. Two of them have been known for a long time: Pluto, discovered in 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh, and Ceres, the largest member of the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, found in 1801 by Giuseppe Piazzi. Both have now been visited by spacecraft, Ceres by Dawn, which entered orbit in 2015, and Pluto by New Horizons, which flew past in 2015. There's general agreement among astronomers that at least 7 other known objects qualify as dwarf planets. All are much further from the Sun than Pluto. They include Eris, which is about the same size as Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, Gong-Gong, Quaoar, Sedna and Orcus. All of these, apart from Sedna, plus another candidate called Salacia, have moons, which allow their masses and an estimate of their densities to be calculated. The most distant known dwarf planet by a long way is Sedna, at an average distance of 507 astronomical units from the Sun, in other words 507 times further away than Earth. It takes about 11,400 years to complete one orbit. The term dwarf planet was coined by the American planetary scientist Alan Stern as part of a 3-type categorization of planetary-sized objects in the solar system that he proposed in 2004, but in Stern's scheme the categories were all actual planets: classical, dwarf and satellite planets being giant moons such as Ganymede and Titan. In the 2006 scheme adopted by the IAU, however, dwarf planets and all moons, including the largest ones, are taken to be sub-planetary objects. All the dwarf planets, with the exception of Ceres, are known as trans-Neptunian objects, and then further classified depending on which remote region of the solar system they belong to. Most lie within the so-called Kuiper belt. Eris, however, lies in the scattered disk, and Sedna is so far away that it is described as a detached object, too remote to be gravitationally influenced by any of the classical planets, including Neptune.